Fish Baby Daddy here, going over a new tank, 20 gallon high. Got a couple different things in here. Let's get to it. Okay, so with this tank setup, I have some Mega Clown Plecos. These guys right here at the bottom. They're kind of like, you'll see they'll hide in the caves. Oh, there's a little baby coming out. See a little baby? I couldn't get him after the eggs hatched, and I just left him in there, and he's just swimming around. But I have a bunch of these guys in here. Clearly they're breeding a little bit. Hence you see the little guy right there. Yeah, little guy, he's just coming out. He's trying to show off for the video. Oh, he's like, oh, I'm scared. But what I also have is I got these other fish in here. These like, common name for these is like a rainbow danio. And they kind of just dart around. And that's kind of like ditherfish to kind of calm everything else down. Because you can see in the background there, I got a male over there. He's getting a little camera shy, but that's a Dwarf Acara. You can tell he's a male because he's got a hump on the back of his head. And that big hump right there, he's kind of get that female going. But the female just is not cooperating right now. She just does not want to breed. So I got these little terracotta pots in here. You can see in the side here, a little algae growing. But I'm trying to clean that up a little bit. Those little terracotta pots, we're gonna get those guys to breed hopefully. What I also like to do is I like to keep two different types of fish in here to breed. That way if one starts breeding, they can release some of those hormones, maybe get the other one to kind of get breeding too. So trying to get those Dwarf Acaras to get going. And luckily, right now, these Mega Clown Plecos, if I get down in here, there are some eggs in here. And she is guarding them. Let's see if I can get the light in there. Let's get a little trickery here. Let me see if I can get the light. See how she's fanning right there? You can see just a couple of those eggs. It just doesn't look that good, the view. I wish I could get that view a little bit better. But I got some fry in there. They're gonna take care of those babies, and then I'll actually try to take some of those out and grow them out in a separate tank. But I feel good about that, and they're gonna keep breeding. I like putting those red root floaters at the top. What I'm gonna do is I am going to get that to keep growing out. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna help suck up some of that extra waste that's in the tank. I had a lot more of that in the tank, but I got some duckweed in there somehow, some way, and I just could not get rid of it. So what I did was I scooped everything out, but just a little bit of the red root floaters. And then I had to start over in a way, in a sense. But I feel good about this tank. I got a little bit of muck. You can see that little guy right there. I got a little bit of muck at the bottom. And muck is just some broken down wood and maybe some detritus and some different things. But sometimes, a lot of times, these fish, they like that. They like that. It makes them feel a little more comfortable instead of having a complete sterile, super clean tank. Now, obviously, there's extremes to that, right? Too dirty, not good. Too clean, not good. But I like to throw some baby brine shrimp in here. I will actually throw some pellets, higher protein pellets to kind of help stimulate spawning. I'm a big believer in putting in the baby brine. I think that actually helps stimulate spawning. And I think that if you can have a good water change system where I'm actually doing 50% water changes, around 100 TDS in here. I want to do a water change every week, 50%. Getting into some good rhythms in terms of knowing when the water's going out, new water coming in. I always use an RO system, and I remineralize that with new GH and KH minerals. Look at that little guy. There's a couple little guys in there. How many little guys do I got in there? Oh my gosh. So I got a couple, I got at least 3. Those guys are getting, what's going on over there? There's one of the Mega clown plecos right there. Mega clown plecos. And the little babies. And then he's coming out to say hello. See that little hump he's got on his head? You can tell he's a male. Very peaceful fish overall, that Dwarf Acara. So I like putting two fish in the tank so we can get them to breed. Stimulate a little bit of spawning. Hopefully that works. I'm gonna try to get a better angle and see if I can get those eggs. Maybe we can look at those a little bit. Trying to get those eggs so you can see them. So you can see what I see. It's tough at different angles. But there's a lot of fanning going on, trying to clean them, trying to wiggle around, trying to make sure that they stay clean the entire time throughout their entire development. Hopefully we can get a little glimpse of this here on camera. But they're in there, I saw them. They're like a greenish yellow. See how see how those fins are kind of moving a little bit? It's kind of a fanning motion. Let's try a different angle here and see if they move a little bit. And you're definitely going to see it here in a second. I had to move the camera around a little bit to kind of get this. Give it another week. I got some wigglers for sure. Oh, there you go. You can see them in the background there. Just a little bit off. Just a little bit of green. But those are it. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. Definitely wanted to show you those. Get those moving around. Tough to tell sometimes with the camera, but we got some fry for sure. You got the little fanning motion going on. Just trying to keep that extra debris out of that cave. And you can really see here that Mega clown pleco is really trying to kick up a lot of that dirt that was in that cave to make sure that those eggs are nice and clean. So he just kicked all that up because he was like, listen, this cave is not clean enough for the baby fry. So he just kind of went out and just did a deep clean and just kicked all that up. Look at the little guy. And I'm okay with them just staying in there growing up. He looks good. Nice color. I like the way they look. They get a little tint of yellow a little bit in them. You'll see some white in them sometimes. Sometimes they're darker than other times. I think it's actually induced by because they want to breed. They actually get a little bit darker color. I think they look really sharp. These Mega clown plecos look great. Very peaceful. Mixed diet. Once in a while, I'll give them some vegetable stuff. But a lot of times I'll throw in some baby brine and some other foods, pellets, and they gobble it right up. But I like the coloration on them. I like the pattern. I think they look really good. I wanted to give the tank here a little bit of a side view here. See how that's looking. A little bit of algae on the side. I get one of these Sea Chem Alert for ammonia alert, just in case, a little insurance just to see, make sure there's no ammonia or anything in the tank. There shouldn't be. Even though it's bare bottoms, I got a lot of stuff going on there. Got a nice seeded sponge. Those red root floaters are starting to come in nice. Pretty soon they're gonna cover that entire top of that tank. And then once they suck out all the nitrates out of that, what's gonna happen is that they're gonna actually start turning red, which is gonna turn really cool. But you gotta put some nitrates back in the water at some point, or else you're gonna lose them entirely. They're gonna wither away. So you wanna actually have that nice mixture of some nitrates and then reducing some of that over time. It's kind of give and take, but the ultimate goal is to have those be nice and red, so that'd look kind of cool. Got a little egg crate on the top there, at the back, just in case they try to jump out in the back. I want to kind of support that. It doesn't seem like they do that too much in the front of the tank, but more in the back sometimes. That's happened once. So just a little insurance there with the egg crate. And then I got my timer on my light. I'll keep that on for about 8 hours. And you can see there's a little bit of pothos that's kind of growing all the way out into my carpet. It's kind of taken off here a little bit from the tank from above. So might have to trim that or do something with it. A little bit of a side view there. So I got some Plecos. Obviously I got those little guys in there too. Got those little rainbow danios. They're kind of like those ditherfish for me. Ditherfish are designed to actually help the environment to kind of calm anything down. It's skittish. So if anything is getting a little scared or nervous, they start seeing other fish, they're always swimming around. It kind of calms them down, makes them feel a little bit more confident that they can swim around too. Now, I got a Dwarf Acara. I have a female in here, and she is just hiding, and she just does not want to mate with that male. And she was like that with another male I had. So this one's not as aggressive with her. So I'm hopeful that over time, we're gonna be able to get some babies. And they typically do that in a terracotta pot. I'll zoom in here on those mega clowns again, so you can see them. I see a little baby right there. It seems like they're just enjoying life. So you know what? I'm gonna leave them in there for a little bit more. Why not? They like burning through that mulm, you know? That breakdown of detritus a little bit. They like breaking down in there and kind of scourging through there, see if they can find any food. They feel comfortable with that. Oh, there's another guy right there. Look at him. Oh, he saw me move the camera. He's hiding. But they're getting more confident being out and about and seeing those eggs. You're going to see a couple more of them. And I'll probably pull some of them out too, pull out some of the fry and grow them out in another tank. So that about wraps it up for the Mega Clown Plecos and the Dwarf Acaras. Until next time, Fish Baby Daddy.